Hi Year 9, welcome to your introduction videos. This week we're going to review something that you should already know, okay? We're going to look at the idea of standard form, okay? And if you remember from last year, standard form is a way of writing numbers that are really big, or numbers that are really small. It basically allows us to do that without writing loads and loads of zeros, or, it saves time, okay? Next week we're going to be looking at performing calculations with standard form as well, so adding and subtracting really large numbers and multiplying and dividing really large numbers or really small numbers as well, okay? And the reason why we have standard form is to answer questions like this. How far is it to the nearest galaxy to the Milky Way? Well, that answer is likely to be several billion kilometers. Okay, so rather than writing out a long number like this at 420 billion, we don't really want to write that many zeros, so we're going to write it in standard form. We don't want to write out the width of a human hair in centimeters. It would be ridiculously small, okay? The volume of a coronavirus is incredibly small. That would be centimeters, that would be kilometers. Maybe the volume of a coronavirus is 0.0000000000002 centimeters cubed. Tiny. We don't want to be writing out all of those zeros, okay? So we can write things in standard form. Now, not only will it save us time in terms of writing down ridiculously long numbers, but it'll also save us time calculating. Okay, we will see next week it's very easy to multiply and divide standard form numbers, and there's ways that we can save time to add and subtract them as well. Okay, so here's how it works. This is just revision, you should already know. These numbers are written in standard form. Okay, now remember, standard form is always a number between 1 and 10 times 10 to the power of an integer, okay, a whole number. If it's not written like that, it's not standard form. i.e. if this number is not between 1 and 10, it's not standard form. Okay, so, but all of these numbers are standard form. What we can do is write them as normal numbers. 4 times 10 to the power of 1, that's just the same as 4 times 10. The answer is 40, right? Second one, 5 times 10 squared. Okay, now you probably know that the answer is 500 for this one. But if you didn't know, you could do this, okay? You could say 5 and then put your decimal point in. And then just put some zeros in just to get you going. Okay, so you haven't changed the number yet, 5.000000. Okay, now if we times by 10 squared, all I need to do is move the decimal point to the right 2 places, and it will no longer appear here. It will appear after the 2 zeros there, and so the answer is 500. Okay, same with the third one. I'm going to do 3.000, just a few zeros just to get me going. If you don't do enough zeros, you just put more in, and then 1, 2, 3 to the right. And so we can see the decimal point now goes here, so the answer is 3,000. Okay? Right, what about this 4.9? 4.9 times 10 to the 6. So write in 4.9 and then a few zeros just to get you going. You're going to have to move 6 and just make sure you've got enough. So now we're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that is where my decimal point needs to go. So my answer is going to be 4, 9 and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 zeros. And if you know that number, how to say that number, it's 4,900,000. Okay, let's just create some room. Okay, what about 5.79 times 10 to the 4? So again, let's write down 5.79. And then write in a few zeros to get you going. Okay, move your decimal point 4 to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4. So now I can see what my answer is going to be. It's going to be 579 and then 3 zeros. So that's 579,000. That looks wrong to me. Have I done too much there? 1, 2. I skipped. How silly of me. That's why you've got to be really, really careful. I've got that wrong. Okay, I got that wrong. So you've got to check. Here is your decimal point. 1, 2, 3, 4. Only 2 zeros. Okay? Be very, very careful. Easy to get it wrong. Okay, and then 2.07. Put some zeros in to get you going. And then don't be a fool like I was a minute ago. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the answer is 207,000. Okay, so it should be very, very easy. Okay, now just a quick check. 12 times 10 to the power of 3. Is this standard form? Yes or no? Hopefully you're screaming at the video saying, no, this is not standard form. Why? Because this number is not between 1 and 10. So if you want to make it standard form, it will be 1.2 times 10 to the power of 4. Okay? One way of thinking about it is just saying, well, 12 is the same as 1.2 times 10, and then times by 10 to the 3. Well, 10 times 10 to the 3 must be 10 to the power of 4. Okay? Is this standard form? Yes, absolutely. It's a number between 1 and 10 times 10 to the power of an integer. Okay, and that would be written as a normal number. That would be 930,000. Okay, you can double check me there. Okay. Which of the following is equal to 2 times 10 to the 4? Well, again, let's write down 2 and then a decimal point, and let's write some zeros to get me going. And then let's count to the right to make my number bigger. 1, 2, 3, 4. We can see that my answer has to be 20,000. That's the right answer there. Okay. Which of the following is equal to 1.2 times 10 to the 7? So let's go 1.2, and then let's throw in a bunch of zeros to get me going. Now, first things first is, this is a stupid answer. Couldn't be. That's the same as 1.2. You've not even bothered to move the decimal point. So that definitely couldn't be right. Okay. So let's now move my decimal point to the right 7 places. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 places. It's going to end up there. Okay, so that's 1, 2, with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 zeros afterwards. It's this. Okay, it's 12 million. 12 million. Okay. Right, here are some questions for you to have a go at. So stop your video and have a go at the answers. And if you get any wrong and you don't know why, just come on the call and let me know. Okay. Here are the answers. So check your work. Okay. If there's any that you got wrong, you're not sure why, just let me know. Okay, these we have to go backwards. We need to be able to write these in standard form. Now the first one is, we always have to make sure we pick a number between 0 and 10 first. So obviously with A, we're just going to do 3. If I want to write that in standard form, times 10 to the power of something. Now 3 is already 3, so I don't want to move the decimal point at all. So if I don't want to move the decimal point at all, I'm just going to times by 10 to the power of 0. That's telling me not to move the decimal point. Second one, I'll choose 8 times 10 to the power of, and all I'm going to do is count how many places I've moved the decimal point. So my decimal point was here, and I'm changing it to 8. So let's move it so that my number now becomes 8. I've had to move 2 places. Okay, third one, I'm going to choose 4 times 10 to the power of, where's my decimal point? It should be here. Move it to make the answer equal to 4. 1, 2, 3. So all I'm doing is working backwards. Okay. With D, let the number between 1 and 10 be 5.8 times 10 to the power of, okay, here is my decimal point. Move it until it becomes 5.8. 1, 2. 5.8 times 10 squared. Okay, number between 1 and 10 is going to be 5.835. Move the decimal point until it becomes 5.835. That will be 1, 2. Oh, sorry, that's wrong. Times 10 squared. Okay. F, we're going to do 8.2 is my number between 1 and 10. Times 10 to the power of, here's my decimal point, move it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 10 to the power of 5. Okay, last one will be 4.09 for my number between 1 and 10. And here's my decimal point, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, that's all you have to do. Okay, which of the following is equal to 600,000? If you realise it's going to be this one. Okay, here are some questions for you to do. You need to write these in standard form. Okay, write these in standard form. Stop your video and have a go. Okay, here we go. Let's write these answers down. Okay, check your work. If there's any you got wrong and you don't know why, just come on the call and ask me, and I'll be happy to help you. Okay, right. Again, can we list these numbers from largest to smallest? One thing you might do, I think it's quite easy to do, if you just put them in standard form. Now this one is already in standard form. What would this one be? 48 million. Well, I'll tell you now, that would be 4.8 times 10 to the power of 7. That's already standard form. That's already standard form. And this would be 4.5 times 10 to the 6. Right, now we can decide which one is the smallest. Well, we've got, this one's 10 to the 7. This one's 10 to the 7. This one's 10 to the 7. This one's 10 to the 6. And this one's 10 to the 6. So anything with 10 to the 6 is going to be smaller than something with 10 to the 7. So the smallest number is going to be 4 times 10 to the 6. The next smallest is going to be this one here. Okay, but we write it back in its original form when we're doing ordering. Okay. The next ones are going to be all the 10 to the 7 ones. So the smallest 10 to the 7 is going to be 4 times 10 to the 7. The next smallest one is this one here. So that's going to be 48 million. And so finally, the largest number is 5 times 10 to the power of 7. Okay. Right, see if you can list these from smallest to largest. Stop your video and have a go. Okay, here's the answers. Okay, again, hope that made sense. Any problems, just come on the